welcome to the podcast by Astitva Prakashan. Today we have Madam Ashwini Gadgil with us, the author of Insanity. She is a legal professional with over 13 years of experience in legal contract and real estate based in Mumbai. Hello and welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you for the release of the book. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, ma'am, what are the responses you are getting from your readers and viewers?
Well, the few that I know who have read, I've got quite positive responses. And for the rest, I'm awaiting. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, ma'am. So I would like to ask what inspired you to move from legal career to writing?
I'm not technically moved as such, so it's not a transition to say. But as far as writing is concerned, so I've been writing since my school days. Um, but I never wrote for others to read. I always wrote for myself. For me, writing is not a hobby, it's not a career, and it's not even a passion. So it's more than that. So for me, writing is a form of meditation. It's a therapy. You know, I've always been an introvert, and I can fairly say that I will continue to be one. So for me, writing is a medium where I can express my feelings, my thoughts. So that is how I got into writing, and I've continued till date. And this is my first novel. So this is the first time that I have written for people to read.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I would like to ask what prompted you to explore such a genre for your debut book?
Um, well, I have two aspects here. Okay, one is our brain. Uh, Our brain is an incredible organ. Okay, it has immense capacities, many of which we are unaware of till date. So this is one aspect of brain that it fascinates me a lot. Our brain has the capacity to picture something in front of you which is not real. Like if you keep saying apple, 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 your brain has the capacity to show that apple in front of you even when there is no apple, right? So this is one. And second, I have an inclination to understand the concept of reality. So I believe that there is a fine line between reality and delusion, or I can say our perception of reality and our perception of delusion. And when this line wipes out, things go
Okay.
bizarre.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So what happens is, for example, you and me are having a conversation, right? So this is a reality because we know we are having a conversation. For you, it's a reality, but you never know. It could be a dream, you know. So in your head, you are talking to me, but you might actually be just talking to your laptop for all that we know, right? So I have tried to get into this, try to explain what happens in psychosis. Yeah, I've tried to do my best. So this is what has inspired me to
Okay.
write a book.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, how do you decide the title of the book? Like Insanity, it's something extraordinary, different from other books and everything. So, how do you come to get that?
You felt extraordinary. Well, I actually felt the title is pretty simple. If anybody would grab a book and look at the title, you would it's fairly good to assume that it would be a book based on psychology. But I want to tell you why I chose this title, so what it means for me. So when I was thinking about the title of the book, I did not just think about. So as you know, it's a psychological thriller. It's about a girl named Sita who is supposedly being diagnosed with psychosis. So I did not only want to focus on her
Yeah.
mental frame, but I also wanted to focus on the antagonist here, who is an extremely intelligent doctor to the point of being eccentric. So he's a researcher, he's an avid reader, he's an explorer, and he has certain theories that he wants to scientifically prove to the world. and he is so crazy about those theories that he would go to extreme lengths to prove them. And when that happens, the line between sanity and insanity wipes out. So that's how I actually thought about giving this a title, because it's a dual exploration of Sita's struggle with psychosis and the antagonist's approach towards sanity, or when he uses his intellect to an extent wherein this line just goes off, and he in a way spirals into the madness because of his obsession for his research and knowledge. That's how I got this title. I'm hoping it does justice
Okay,
to the
ma'am.
book. I don't know.
Okay, ma'am. So the central character Sita, how do you come to get that name? Was it a random call, or you just have a name in your mind for a very long time, or is there a story behind it all as well?
No, actually, it just the name just came to me. I did not actually give it a thought, like why the name Sita. It just came to me, uh, because I wanted to build a character who is strong, okay, who has emotions, someone who experiences all the emotions, and yet can stand in the vulnerable state. So I think that is what Sita is, even otherwise that we know of.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, the central character Sita goes through a physical and a psychological turmoil. So, how do you approach writing such a complex character?
Yeah, yeah. Sita's character is complex in a way. It is intense. So when I picture Sita in my head, as I said, she is a strong woman. Okay, although the book is about psychosis, I have not portrayed her as a victim of anything. Okay, she's someone who is intelligent, is brave. She knows what she's going through, and she does not hesitate to seek help. So that is a Sita for me. So that's how I have portrayed her. And uh, the thing is, when it comes to psychological aspects, we all think about it in a very negative way. We give it a negative connotation, where actually I want the readers out there to feel all those emotions, and by not giving it any negative connotation, but to experience it in a way to realize what they're going through and deal with it when time comes, right?
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, how do you create the plot of the book? I want to know.
Well, to tell you the truth, is your question related to the process of writing in a way? So
Yes.
I did not, yeah,
Okay.
honestly, I have not uh, gone into any systematic process as such, traditional process of writing. I just wrote the way it came to me. While I started writing, the characters simply evolved, and I allowed them to evolve in their own way. So I just wrote naturally how things came, and it turned out, few chapters turned out great and others not so much. So then I deleted a few, replaced a few later, and that's how. But all this in a way helped me to keep the tension and the theme alive. So it worked for me. I don't know if it would work for others this way, because it's not a traditional approach of writing, but to me it did.
Okay, ma'am. So, if a writer, as I'm not a writer and I want to writing a book, could you give me some tips or advice? How could I write?
Just explore, just give yourself to writing, and writing will come to you. You don't need to like decide that there are few writers I know who decide and write a page every day. They have certain themes and plots going on in their head, but I would say, explore as much as you can, write the way you want to. A story would come up one day, other day it might not, but then that's how I do it, and that's what I would even advise you to, instead of going into very technicalities, try to connect with the readers, try to, in a way, emotionally connect to yourself so that you can connect to the readers, and that's how I think you should write.
Okay. So, ma'am, is was there any source like any book or internet or something or any stories that inspired you to write this book or which influenced you to write this book actually?
Well, see, Sita is not influenced, or this book is not influenced from any real life individual or any specific event or a book. Uh, the thing is, this book takes inspiration from all the people out there who are battling every day with mental health issues, who are struggling and who are trying to cope with their mental issues. So, Sita takes inspiration from all of this. And I would like to state here that, when you're physically unwell, like you have a fever, you're not well, you can approach a doctor. But when it comes to your mental health, despite the awareness that COVID-19 has created, still there is a kind of taboo. People are very hesitant to accept that, emotionally something is wrong with them and they need to seek help. So, through this book, I would like to tell everyone who is going through any kind of emotional, maybe grief, trauma, stress, depression, and I want them to know that there is help out there available. All you need to do is just ask. So that's the message that I want to give everyone through this book.
Absolutely, ma'am. Because today's youngster, I guess, the people who actually needs a help are youngsters. Today's teenagers, they
Right.
are going
Yes.
through a lot.
Yes. And that hesitant, what happens is, when it comes to what the mental issues, you yourself are not aware mostly what's going on with you, right? So it
Absolutely.
takes a lot of time to realize what's happening and a lot more
And to
time to go out
accept.
there and, yes, accept and seek help. That is important.
Yeah, actually, because today, in fact, we are hesitant to speak to our parents or our friends or family,
Exactly.
whoever that may be.
Right.
So
Right.
we
Right.
shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And like, what do you want your readers to take away from Sita's journey? Is there any psychological aspects you want to reflect them on?
Yes, basically, I want the readers to know that, see, as humans, we experience a lot many emotions. Okay, the basic ones that we know or we can label them as emotions are grief, you have trauma, you have stress, you have fear, you have anxiety, you have delusions, you have confusion. There's so many emotions that you experience. I want the readers to experience all these emotions, to know them, to in a way feel them, and as I said, when it comes to psychology, acceptance is what matters. So once you accept all these emotions, feel them the way they are, you will stop giving them any kind of a label, any kind of a negative connotation, and you would actually, be a happy person. What you need to know is everything that you're going through in your life ends. Right, nothing is permanent. Whether you're happy or sad, all the emotions, they come and go, and it's part of life. And need to accept them. This is one. And second, whatever difficulties you might face in your life, okay, whatever, even let it be extreme, when you feel okay, this is the end of it, this is the end of the world, I don't think so I'm going to live another second. Still live, because nothing is permanent. And let it be the hardest of the time that you're having going through right now, there is a ray of hope, and you need to know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, ma'am, so much. Ma'am, while writing this book, was there anything surprising you learned about yourself or the book or the people?
Uh, yes, about the book and myself, right? See, I was very hesitant initially to publish the book. I never ever thought I would, be able to write something for others to read. I've been writing for a long time, but the funniest thing is I never really stored whatever I wrote till date. Never. So this is the first book that I actually have on my laptop that I've stored it, because when I started writing this book initially, I never thought that, I thought it would be like many others that I write and delete it, because as I told you, it's writing is a journey for me. It's more emotional, and I never write because I want to keep it and I want others to read. So when I came to the 20th chapter of this book, I took a break for a reason. And when I revisited all the 20 chapters, and when I read them as a reader would, I, felt something was missing. Like as a writer, I felt okay, it was okayish. But as a reader, I felt something was not quite right. And what I did then was I deleted all the 20 chapters and I rewrote them all over again. I think that was the moment when I decided on a subconscious level that this is what I want others to read. So this is something that I want to publish. I think that was the moment I decided to publish a book, and that's the story of birth of insanity, I would say. So this is something I discovered, that after so many years of writing, I realized that okay, I have the courage to get
Yeah.
my book out there.
The book is amazing. From my aspect, I would say the book is amazing.
Thank you very
And
much.
okay, ma'am. So, what was your favorite part in the writing? Like, was it editing or drafting or the final touches? What was it?
For me, the entire process was, so I can't randomly select one, and for me, everything. It was a memorable journey. Editing is
Okay.
something I don't like doing much, because yeah, it's difficult, when okay, I want it there, but then I feel as a reader it should not be, and I have to edit it. So that's something I don't like doing much. But other than that, yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. So, ma'am, could you just give us three recommendation, book recommendation, which what we should read or something like that?
See, I don't generally recommend anything, because it varies taste to taste, right? I am a fiction person, so I like any kind of fiction, be it a science fiction or medical legal, or I am all for it. But if you tell me read a horror, I wouldn't. If you recommend comedy, perhaps I would give it a try. So I don't generally recommend it. It depends on what people like reading. So I think you need to know what you like reading, and I think you need to follow that genre.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to know that the writing journey is the writing journey itself was marvelous. I understand, but what was the hardest part you encountered while writing?
I think it was suspense, writing suspense, because when it came to psychology, as I mentioned, I'm keenly interested in psychology as a subject, though I have not academically studied it. So it was quite easier for me. But when it came to writing suspense, that was challenging, because when it comes to suspense, you need to keep that tension alive, that thrill going. You need to maintain that pace. Uh, because you can't give away something too quickly, too easily, and you can't even stretch it for too long to to create boredom. And so maintaining this balance between, because I wanted the readers to experience all the emotions that I've mentioned in the book, and also question what's next. So it was an equilibrium that I had to maintain. Because when it comes to suspense, you want the readers to be at the edge of their seats, and when it comes to psychology, you want them thinking about or feeling all those emotions. So that was a challenge, but I think I enjoyed it a lot. It was a learning
Oh,
process for me as well.
okay, thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, while writing, I we often like encounter demotivation, or we are demotivated to write, or we are stuck in something like what to do next. We don't know. How do you deal with it?
I was not demotivated when I wrote. Um, and I would not say I was not stuck, because that would be a lie. I was stuck several times. But then when what happens is, when you're stuck, you just give it a time. Like, you don't write for 2 days, and third day you just come and you open the laptop and it comes to you. That's how it is with writing. You need to be patient with yourself. Patience is the key here.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, do you have any particular timing or any ritual to go into your creative world?
No, not at all. Not at all. As I said, I always wrote when it came to me. So if it came to me at 2 in the night, I would wake up at 2 and write it. So that's how it was with me.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. And I would love to know about your publishing journey.
Oh, it was a beautiful journey, exceptionally beautiful. So I never knew how to publish. I didn't know how you approach when you want to publish a book. But for me, I think when I decided to publish a book, as I mentioned, that moment when I decided to publish a book, I did not think how difficult it would be. But I was like, okay, I need to find a publisher. I need to find someone who would like my work. How would and I'm very weak at marketing or telling people, oh, read my book. I'm very bad at that. So I wanted someone who would take care of like everything. And when so Astitva Publication has published this book, and when I called Astitva, all my doubts were cleared. I had to literally do nothing, I didn't have to take any efforts when it came to logistics, when it came to marketing, when it came to cover design. Everything was taken care of them by them, and the journey they made my journey, uh, remarkable. I'll never forget this experience.
Thank you, ma'am. Could you please elaborate? Was searching Astitva was the best part, or going through it, or what was the best part?
Uh, Searching Astitva, see what happened was when I decided to publish the book, everything just aligned. Okay, so when I searched on internet, your name just popped out, and I called you. So it was not like I called hundreds of publishing houses. I called you, and then things just followed positively, and so entire process was seamless. It was, and the best part was whatever Astitva agreed that they would deliver, quality, the quantity, the deadline, the timeline, and they were the ones who decided, okay, we'll be publishing the book in so and so days. I was like, this soon, will you be able to? And they're like, yeah. And that's what they did. That's how it happened. I thought it would be a very lengthy process. It would take like 6 months or 8 months, but uh, I think my book was published in like a month or so. It's exceptional.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, thank you, ma'am. Now I want to know about your writing. When did you start writing? How did you came into the world of writing, and what was your first book and everything?
Yeah, as I told, this is my first book. uh, all the other things that I have written, I have not published. I never had the courage to publish. So yeah, I did not get into writing. I did not decide to get into writing. I just wrote, and I never actually decided to write a novel. So when it comes to writing, it's a medium of expression for me, as I said. So it's like if there's something going on in my mind and I want to get it out. For me, it's more easier to write and express than speak. So that's how I got into writing. So writing is my buddy, I can
Okay,
say. My buddy, sometimes a therapist. Uh, so yeah.
okay. So, ma'am, all your writings, whatever you wrote till date, were they all frictional or something like academic too? As you were in the legal field as well for 13 long years, so that really matters.
Yeah, no, no, no. I never got into writing anything academic. It was all always fiction, and there
Okay.
weren't even stories. They were mainly emotions. Like if I'm upset today, I would write about that particular emotion. So there were never stories, to be true.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, how did your 13 years of journey into legal aspects shaped your book, or the insanity, actually, we could say?
Mm. Insanity, it's shaped in a way. See, when it comes to legal aspects, you tend to be detail oriented, because as a lawyer you're taught to be focused. You're taught to gather information and compile it, and you're thought to be detail oriented. So that thing, I think that's what helped me in writing, because when it comes to fiction, especially if it's a suspense, there are minute details you need to take into consideration. You can't just randomly write, because if you're in chapter number 26, it is connected to all the earlier chapters that you have written. So details are very important, and I think as a lawyer, attention to detail helped me a lot. So I'm thankful for my profession for this. It really guided me, to make my writing more precise.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, there are any future projects you're excited about, and are they they are psychology, the horrors or suspense or thriller things? I just
Uh,
wanted to know.
well, for now, I have not decided on anything as yet. I'm still exploring. I'm contemplating new ideas. I'm reading. I'm researching. I'm observing the world. Like maybe a caffeine addicted detective, waiting for a next story to hit me like this one did. So I think with time, things will eventually take its place. So I'm sure to write
Okay.
something more. So yeah, I will definitely.
Okay. So, ma'am, is it this genre or like what's your favorite genre and what's the genre you would never write?
Uh, See, I'm a fiction person. Okay, so be it science fiction or mystery or thriller, suspense, anything related to cryptic symbols or history. So when there are puzzles or twists in the plot, you can count me in. As far as the genre that I would never write, it's romance. I I am not a romantic. I would never ever write a romance. I cannot imagine myself writing something romantic. So for me, I would for me it's easier to emotionally connect to a pizza than to a love story. I am that
Oh,
unromantic. So that is something I would never dare to write in my life.
okay, okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. More than you, I'm excited for your next projects because as your book, it was amazing. I was not able to read the whole book, but the part I read, oh my God, that's something else, I would say. So, yeah, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much
you.
for writing such a book for us.
I hope the rest of the readers would have the same opinion. Thank you for your kind words.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insight with us today. And
Thank you
it's
for
been a
having me.
pleasure having you learning about your creative journey and inspiration behind your work.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure from my side indeed.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm looking forward to have you here again with us with a new book.
Sure. Sure. Fingers crossed.
Sure, of course. Even I'm more excited than you for your book.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.